Hello, welcome to Gold Talk Sports. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Giants versus Jets preseason Week 3 matchup. This is going to be the final week of preseason. Disclaimer right off the bat, like I do every video, I'm just going to say it that way. I don't have to hear about it. I am a Giants fan. This channel is more so focused on the Giants. Therefore, I'm going to be talking more about the Giants than the Jets, but I will still be highlighting the Jets a little bit. With that out of the way, let me get into the Jets. We're going to start off with their passing game last week. The way that these videos work, in case you haven't seen them, is I'm going to talk about the games last week. So the Jets first, the Panthers, I believe they played last week. Or no, we played the Panthers last week. The Jets played the Buccaneers, sorry. So the Giants and Panthers game, I'm going to be talking about players that played well for the Giants in that game, and then the Jets and Buccaneers, and we talking about who played well in that game too, which will help me to get my consensus on who is going to play well this game, and which will end off with my score prediction. So we'll start off with the Jets passing game. They had Zach Wilson. He's been playing well pretty much all preseason. 9 for 13, 70 yards, pretty efficient with the ball. Tim Boyle came in after Wilson, 13 for 24, 106 yards, and an interception. Not very efficient, but it's Tim Boyle. What do you really expect? But the big news for the Jets this game is Aaron Rodgers is going to be making his New York Jets preseason debut. Or Jets preseason, or not preseason, just his debut in general for the Jets. He's never played there before. So that's going to be something to watch. If we go over the rushing, believe it or not, the Jets' leading rusher last week was Zach Wilson. He had 2 for 41 yards. And then following him was Zonovan Knight, 8 for 33. Following Knight, I'll attempt to say the name, but don't bully me. I know for a fact I'm going to say this wrong. Israel Abanikanda, I think is how you say his name. Apologize if that's wrong. Don't bully me. 4 for 30 yards. And then moving over to the receiving game, Jason Brownlee, 4 receptions for 50 yards. And then moving over to the defensive side of the ball, Jalen Holmes had 2 sacks. Jets had a decent game. Wasn't great, wasn't bad, it was alright. Well, now we're going to move over to the Giants. Start off with the passing game, which was very efficient for the Giants. Jones had his first game this season, played a drive or so. Actually, no, I think it was just a drive. 8 for 9, 69 yards and a touchdown. Super efficient with the ball. We're going to get into his favorite target a little bit later. Tyrod Taylor, 9 for 13, 90 yards and a touchdown. Again, very efficient with the ball. And then Tommy DeVito, 9 for 11 for 88 yards. Once again, it's not like a broken record here, but very efficient with the ball. Passing game was good. Move over to the rushing side, not so good. Eric Gray went 5 for 16 with a touchdown. That one touchdown was incredible. Eric Gray, if you've ever seen him, he's a pretty small guy. He fought through a humongous pile and was able to fight and break the plane. And then Jashawn Corbin was just getting swallowed up behind the backfield. There wasn't much he could do. There was no blocking for the guy. So he ended up having 7 rushes for 5 yards. Pretty terrible, but like I said, not much he could do. Move on over to the receiving side. We have Isaiah Hodgins, 2 for 45. He's not going to get you a ton of separation, but he'll go and make a contested catch, which is what he did. He made the contested catch on one of these and was able to break that tackle after he made the catch and pick up decent amount of yards after the catch. So good, nice plays from Hodge. Moving over to a rookie, 3rd-round pick out of Tennessee, Jalen Hyatt. A lot of people probably saw he dropped that first wide-open pass. Kind of bad, kind of terrible, but he ended up answering back later that drive, I believe, with a big touchdown. He ended up finishing the game 4 receptions for 35 yards. And now we're going to get into who I believe is going to be Daniel Jones' favorite target this entire season. New tight end for the Giants, Darren Waller. He had 3 receptions for 30 yards. Jones just kept on hitting him on that first drive. Honestly, I thought he was going to get the touchdown too, but then we ended up throwing that to somebody else I'll get to. Now, let's talk about it now. The touchdown did end up going to Bellinger. They had Waller and Bellinger lined up next to each other. Waller, of course, drew double coverage because he's been getting the ball pretty much the entire drive, and he's Darren Waller. Bellinger had a block and then got off the block. It was a block and release He just ran like a little flat. Jones hit him. He dove for the pylon. Touchdown for Daniel Bellinger. Let me talk about a UDFA out of West Virginia, Bryce Ford Wheaton. He ended up having 2 catches for 24 yards. I know last week he was struggling. I think even preseason week 1 he was struggling too. He was dropping a lot of passes, but it looks like he's at least finding his footing a little bit here. And Jashawn Corbin, although he was getting swallowed up in the run game and wasn't able to do anything, he had 3 receptions for 22 yards, so he was getting involved a little bit in the passing game. And let me just talk about the Giants defense real quick before I go into my predictions. For the Giants defense, we had Dane Belton, 2 TFLs. That is our second-year safety out of Iowa. He played a little bit last year. Him and Julian Love would rotate in and out. Sometimes they'd both be on the field. It would all depend on what packages Martindale was running. But he looked all right last year. He had a pick or 2. And now he's coming in this year as a starting strong safety, although he might be splitting that now that we traded for Isaiah Simmons. If you didn't see that, Giants did trade a 7th-round pick to the Arizona Cardinals for Isaiah Simmons. But the thing with Simmons is he could kind of play anywhere. Like, he plays safety, he plays nickel, he plays linebacker. Like, he's all over the place. So that's probably how Martindale's going to use him. He's a good blitzer, so I think, and we all know, if you're a Giants fan or if you've watched the Giants play, or even if you're a Ravens fan, you know this, because Wink Martindale was on the Ravens for a while. He loves his blitzes. He loves man blitzes. That's all he runs pretty much. I mean, obviously he throws zone in every once in a while, but he loves his man blitzes. So I would not be surprised if we see Isaiah Simmons, blitzing a lot. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But yeah, Dane Belton had a good game with the 2 TFLs, and then Kayvon Thibodeau had a TFL and a sack on Bryce Young. Thibodeau's looking good. I saw a quote from Thibodeau the other day. It was like, they asked him about how he thinks he's going to do this season, and he goes, I'm going to improve, because we're in the NFL now. You either improve or you're out of the league in 4 years. That's just the reality. So he's got that mindset. He's locked in. I think he's going to have a great season for us here in year 2. He already had a good rookie season. Didn't put up crazy numbers, but he was one of those guys that opened up opportunities for the other pass rushers because they were concerned about Thibodeau. That ended up opening up opportunities for the other guys on the line, like Dexter, Leo, Aziz when he played because he had some injury issues last year. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what their Kayvon's going to be able to do this year. Now, let's see. Is there anything else I want to talk about individually about these teams before I go into my predictions? I don't think so. All right, let's get into the predictions. So, what do I think is going to happen here? I actually didn't write down my prediction this week, so I'm just going to have to come up with one off the top of my head. The Jets do have Aaron Rodgers playing. We don't know how long he'll play. Honestly, it might just be a drive. They don't want to risk Aaron Rodgers getting hurt. That would really suck. I'm thinking maybe it's going to be a close game, depending on how much the starters play. I'm going to say the Giants still are going to be able to edge them out. I think even with Rodgers playing, I don't think they're going to play all their starters. I think they might just throw Rodgers in for a drive, get him warmed up a little bit. So I think we're going to be able to take the win here. My score prediction, I'm going to say 24-21. I know, super basic, but like I said, I didn't write anything down, so I had to come up with one on the spot. I kind of forgot that I do score predictions here. So I'm going to say 24-21, Giants win. We're going to see you later today. All right? Thank you so much for watching. Next week is preseason bye week, so we'll be back for the season opener against the Dallas Cowboys. Thank you for watching. See you then. Peace out.